Hi everyone. I'm really hoping this video will inspire somebody today. I wanted to share my story about the meditation retreat that I went to in Thailand, just around the area of Chiang Mai. Sometimes things that are cliche are actually a good thing, and this was one of the things. This was about a couple of years ago. I went there. I had a lot of stuff on my mind, was dealing with a lot, had dealt with so much stuff, and I was fortunate enough to be able to spend 4 months in Southeast Asia. During this time, I went temple hopping. I would spend every day at a temple meditating, and I loved Chiang Mai so much that I wanted to go back there when I found out that there was a retreat. There was a meditation retreat, and it was going to be a silent meditation retreat, which is called Vipassana. I may not be saying it correctly. And it's a type of retreat where you don't speak for 3 days straight. Some people say, oh no, I can't do this. I can't, I'll go crazy. Well, that's why you need to do this retreat. You need to be quiet and sit with your own thoughts, and you'll be surprised at what you find. So, the first takeaway that I got from this retreat was that in the West, this is my interpretation of some of what I learned. In the West, we're told to go outwards and speak to somebody if we're going through something, go to therapy, talk it out, vent with a friend, family member, trusted person. But what I noticed is that in the East, people go inwards. And it may not make sense to you at first. You may think that it's bottling things up, it's suppressing emotions, but no, there's a different take on the idea of embracing silence and really sitting with your own thoughts and ideas. I found it was really helpful, and I know a lot of people go to Southeast Asia or to places like Peru and do these type of ayahuasca ceremonies or meditations or yoga retreats or whatever, and people laugh about it and say, oh, this is so, like, it's so cliche and whatnot. But just hear me out on this one. I learned a lot of meditation techniques at this retreat, and I advise anybody who's experiencing some type of anxiety, some type of depression, anger, negative feelings, I really encourage you to try something like this if you have the luxury of time and you can travel. Because realistically, even though there are retreats in North America, in Europe, it's just not the same. um, Thailand has an air to it just has a special feeling. So does Vietnam. A lot of these places do. And so you can kind of actually notice the mannerisms of the people, the culture. It's very calm. People don't get visibly angry in public. It's actually embarrassing. It's almost like you're showing that you've lost total control. So there's a lot to learn from these communities. If you don't have the luxury of joining a meditation retreat abroad, you can find a local center. Um, I always support, whatever it is that you gravitate towards, whether it's joining a temple based on Hinduism, Buddhism, you want to go to a church, you want to go to a mosque, wherever you want to go, a synagogue, feel free to do it. Some people don't like the idea of religion, so they prefer to do something that's non denominational. If that's the case, I really encourage you to go and find some videos. Like, for example, one that I really gravitated towards is 432 hertz video on YouTube. There's lots of them that you can find. And it's very repetitive. So you're going to hear the same sound over and over. The track may be an hour long. Some people have told me, oh no, I can't do this. This is driving me crazy. But again, maybe this is why you need to do it. The one that I found really helped, and I play it when I'm cooking, when I'm cleaning, whenever I'm doing something that's repetitive and mundane. It really helps to calm the nervous system and For me, some of these tracks, these 432 hertz tracks, feel like, this is a weird analogy, but this is what I interpret it as. When you're hearing the sound, it's as if it's cleaning the plaque from your brain. It's like mental plaque, junk that needs to be cleared out. And this is what these tracks are doing. So try it and see. Hopefully, it works for you. Another thing I wanted to talk about is, a lot of people travel because they're dealing with something and that's their escape. They have some type of emotional baggage. They're going through a breakup, they're going through some family event, they lost their job or housing, their pet passed away, or something has happened. And so they seek comfort in escaping their routine. They seek comfort in something that's different, changing up the environment, going to maybe a slower paced environment. And so you can seek comfort in other environments to discover other ways of developing inner peace. And so this meditation retreat was one of them. There's other techniques, like, for example, if you're really angry, Buddhism talks about anger, how it's not good to have anger. Um, Anger can be, it's like an emotional type of cancer. It can be like very detrimental to the health. It's really not so good when it's chronic. It really takes a toll on the body. So you may find you're experiencing some feelings of resentment towards people, towards a certain persons. And when I did go to Southeast Asia for 4 months, I was dealing with resentment towards several people that had exited my life at the same time. And I really needed to do a lot of work to get rid of all of these negative feelings. I want to share a technique with you that may help you. Now, hear me out, because it may seem a little woo woo or whatnot, but honestly, this specific thing helped me a lot. Whenever you feel negative feelings come up about a person that's really bothering you, who you feel like feelings of hatred, real disgust towards, I want you to do something. Instead of cursing at that person under your breath and making making yourself all worked up, try this instead. Place your hand on your heart and just hold it there until you feel the feelings go down and the anger slip away from you. It sounds cheesy, but this actually works. This is the crazy thing. There's another activity that you can do, or exercise. I learned this when I took a course in hypnotism. You can, when you feel that feeling come up about that person who hurt you, that you can't get over, you can do this visualization or imagery where you're imagining that person is in front of you, and with your eyes closed, you're extending your hand out and you're touching their heart. And you stay there until those feelings subside. Okay, it's not going to be that easy at first. It may take you quite a while to have those feelings subside, but just try it quite a few times. I had a situation where somebody told me that I need to work on my feelings of resentment because it's holding me back. And that this is wasted brain energy that could be used towards building something else. And I said, you know what, that's great in theory, but I'm not ready yet. And I thought to myself, wait a second, am I seriously not ready to get rid of this baggage? Why am I allowing this situation and these people to hijack my emotions, hijack my brain further for any longer? No, I'm doing this exercise today. And I thought of this exercise. It just came to me. I don't know. And I said, instead of me cursing people out under my breath, let me just hold my heart and see what happens. lo and behold, to my surprise, it actually worked. So go ahead and try it. Let me know if it worked for you. Yeah, and honestly, what really helps, I find, with like, okay, you travel, you indulge, and then you go back to your home and you're still faced with the same stuff. Hopefully you've collected some tools like I did during this meditation retreat, and even visiting temples every day for 4 months in Southeast Asia. So I came back and it helped. But honestly, find something to believe in, because when you find something to believe in, it changes your complete perspective. I don't know how to even describe. I don't care if it's Santa Claus. I don't care if it's a tooth fairy. I don't care if it's Jesus, Jehovah, Allah, whoever, Moses, whatever. But find something to believe in. It makes things a lot easier for you. There's so many people I find walking around this place. Like, a lot of the people who I've encountered, who I know on a very personal level, who are the most miserable, the most hopeless people who have like a lack mindset, poverty mindset, who can't imagine themselves as anything but poor for the rest of their lives, or struggling financially. These people have one thing in common that I found: they have zero belief system, zero faith in anything, like nothing. They're complete staunch atheists. No offense to atheists, but I'm talking about when you need to be encouraged, when you need to develop a sense of hope. um it's not very helpful. So that's why I said believe in something. I don't care if it's animism, you believe in the plants, you believe in the flowers, whatever. And me personally, I seek knowledge, comfort, uh, in all of the different mainstream religions, the Abrahamic religions, and the ones who are non-Abraham, which are not Abrahamic. I take elements from each and I apply it to my life. Um, there's a pastor that I listen to on YouTube who is from the southern states. His name is Pastor Robert Charles Blakes, R.C. Blakes. And I really like, I've listened to this man for years. There's something about his messages, there's something, he just provides straight comfort. And I don't identify with any religion. I am not a Christian, but I can't wait for him to post a new video. I love to hear him speak. It just gives you this feeling like he talks about world issues, real stuff, and he just puts this spin on it that, I don't know, it's something else. You can look him up if you want. He had a quote from a video that I listened to earlier this week. The name of the video was "Everything is Working Out for You." I believe that was it. That was the title. And there was a quote in that video that Pastor Blake said was that your misery can become your ministry. And I also was influenced by some other people. I had somebody approach me who is a psychic, and I didn't believe in astrology before this year. I wasn't really too into it. But this person approached me out of nowhere. I was in my workplace, and she just started talking to me. She just started telling me stuff, and I don't know. It was funny because it was the exact same time when I needed to hear something like this. I needed to hear positivity. I needed encouragement. And she must have known what I was dealing with. And so she approached me and she just started talking to me and telling me things. And this stuff was very encouraging. But some people are not into this. There's a lot of fake people out there. There's a lot of fake psychics, who just want your money and they're not real. But this person approached me and never asked me for a dime. And then told me later on, hey, you can reach out to me anytime. You just text me. It's okay. I said, no, I'll eventually, maybe I'll hire you for a session. She said, no. Is there something you want to ask me right now? Ask me. And so I just want to share that because there's lots of different ways of getting encouraged. I know a lot of religious people are not into this. They would not be okay with this concept, and that's okay. But I'm open to receiving messages as long as it's going to help me. I'm open to it. I hope this helps you. You know, travel is something so great. It really, especially when you do solo travel, I recommend for everybody to do a solo travel trip. And I'm not just talking about going to your neighboring, somewhere within your neighboring states, um, that's 2 hours away, and going and spending the weekend. No, I'm talking about something that really pushes you out of your comfort zone, especially people who have always been around others their whole life and feel dependent and don't want to leave their families or their friends or their communities. You really build something by doing solo travel. It's you owe it to yourself if you can manage to do it. And it doesn't matter what stage. Doesn't matter if you're 65. Doesn't matter if you're from any country in the world. Doesn't matter. Just find a place that you think is safe, that you feel safe going to by yourself. Do your research and go and explore. Regarding those meditation retreats, there are some. There's one, for example, called Plum Village. There's a location in the States and there's a location in France, near Bordeaux. It's originally developed by the Vietnamese Buddhist Thich Nhat Hanh. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. There's also a couple in Sri Lanka, Buddhist retreats. These are Buddhist retreats I'm talking about. I'm sure there's some in Laos or Myanmar, but the point is just find something to believe in and be open to receiving messages. Even if you hate religion, don't rule out listening to pastors, imams, whoever, because in everything, in something that you dislike, there may be something good. And I know that religion, for a lot of people, there's a stigma. They don't want to hear anything that's coming from a religious person. They don't want to hear anything about the church because maybe they've been traumatized or whatnot. But honestly, there's so much good stuff out there. Even regarding Islamic videos, there's Mufti Menk. I've heard a couple of videos from him before. Uh, but yeah, happy travels, and stay tuned for more videos. I want to inspire people by talking about good stories that I've encountered during my travels. I also want to be real and talk about the not so good stories, um, the not so good experiences, as a warning, as a caution to people. But I want to start off with the positive. So if you liked what you heard during this video, press the like button, subscribe. That helps me. And yeah, just stay hopeful. And travel can change your life.